Hello, I'm Adam Pacitti, still Pacittidust from Cultaholic.com, and I'm here to tell you what happened at the Elimination Chamber 2018. So we started off with the historic Women's Elimination Chamber match, which is actually quite historic and actually quite cool, unlike the 7-man Men's Elimination Chamber match, which isn't that cool, not that historic, and nobody asked for. Alexa enters her pod first, and she is upset that she's having to defend her women's title tonight, while Brock Lesnar gets to sit at home and kill animals with a gun. And I don't think that's a very heel thing to say. I think that's actually quite understandable. She should be upset about that. Why is she having to defend her title? Anyway, the steel flooring around the ring has been covered by mats for this match, which is, you know, it's probably a good thing. It's certainly safer, but I do feel that it's taken some of the danger away from what the Elimination Chamber is supposed to be. You know, it's always touted as this huge, dangerous, imposing structure, and I think maybe we've lost something there. It's not the biggest deal. Sonya Deville starts things off with Bayley, and the crowd are immediately hugely behind Bayley, which is really, really good to see, and, you know, that can be attributed to Bayley actually doing some things and getting some wins in recent weeks. I think this could have been a real turning point for Bayley had she won. Mandy Rose is released from her pod next to team with Sonya Deville against Bayley. It's now a 2-on-1 match until Sasha comes in. The odds are evened, and fairly quickly Sasha eliminates Mandy Rose with the bank statement. Mickie James is out next. She climbs on top of a pod and in a really cool spot dives on top of Sonya Deville to eliminate her. However, Bayley almost immediately hits Mickie James with the Bayley to belly, which is still probably the worst finisher in wrestling today, and Mickie James is eliminated. Sasha and Bayley then wait for Alexa Bliss's pod to open. They don't touch each other. It was a really, really cool moment, and it showed just what an incredible performer Alexa Bliss is. When she's finally released from her pod, she does everything she can to stay away from the pair. She's scaling the walls like Spider-Man, and Bayley and Sasha just chasing her, trying to corner her off. Sasha, chasing Bliss, climbs on top of the pod to go and get her, extends her arm to help Bayley up before kicking her down. Shades of a heel turn, not quite a heel turn just yet, but they're teasing it that little bit more. And knowing the result, it's probably a good thing, because I think there's enough story between those two to have a match at Mania without a title being on the line. Sasha hits Bayley with a frog splash from on top of one of the pods. Bayley kicks out at 2, hits Sasha with the Bayley to belly from the top turnbuckle, but is immediately rolled up by Bliss. It's down to 2, Alexa Bliss versus Sasha Banks. Alexa goes on to hit the Twisted Bliss from on top of one of the pods, which is immediately transitioned into a bank statement, which was cool. It looked really good, but to me felt a kind of little bit weird, because normally people don't kick out of the Twisted Bliss, let alone a Twisted Bliss from on top of one of the pods, but whatever. Sasha ends up going face first into the top of one of the pods, followed by a DDT from the top rope. 1, 2, 3. Alexa Bliss is going to WrestleMania as champion, which is really terrific, actually. Following the match, she gives this incredible promo where she teases a face turn. She's going, you know, I'm so proud, I'm so lucky to have all your guys' support, ... because none of you will ever accomplish anything. As I say, what a just terrific, terrific performer, a natural heel, a natural performer, and you know what? She really, really deserves to be going into WrestleMania as champion. Overall, a good match. Not one that's going to be remembered like other Elimination Chambers for any big spots, but more for its historical significance, and a really, really strong start to the show. Next up was The Bar versus Apollo and Titus O'Neil for the Raw Tag titles. There's not that much to say about this one, really. At one point, commentary team were arguing whether game plan was 1 word or 2, so thanks a lot for that, Michael Cole and Corey Graves. That added a lot to the match. The Bar, of course, retain, which is the way it should be heading into WrestleMania, which is nothing against Titus and Apollo. They're good, but I think Cesaro and Sheamus's partnership has been the highlight of their careers for me. I think they're doing absolutely terrific work, and once again, just excited to see where they go into WrestleMania. And because of the performances that Sheamus and Cesaro have put on in recent times, I really, really hope that's one that makes the main card. I hope that's not on the pre-show. Next up, Nia Jax versus Asuka's streak, which now stands at 873 days. mental. Before the match, there was a really cool shot of Nia Jax crushing Asuka's mask, followed by a hype package which made this match feel huge. The match itself was solid, but nothing really special. Nia hit this sort of jackhammer thing, but was eventually rolled up by Asuka. After the match was over, something that I did really like, Nia managing to get her heat back by attacking Asuka and barging her through the barricade, which is actually a spot that I think we're seeing a little bit too much of. We have seen a lot of barricade spots in recent times, but still really good for Nia. It means probably they've got something in store for her. Next up, Woken Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt. In a match that was... it was disappointing. First up, Matt came out to a really mediocre reaction, which is your fault, Vince. And then Bray's screen graphics flashed on screen, the lights went out, the lights came back up, Bray's in the ring, Matt isn't. Oh, where is he? It's a game of hide and seek. Let's go and try and find Woken Matt Hardy. Brilliant. So Bray's running around ringside trying to find Matt. He can't find him, and then all of a sudden, oh, Matt's behind him and hits a double axe handle to announce his presence. It was fine, yeah, okay. The frustrating thing about this is this was a big opportunity for both of these men to rejuvenate their careers and their characters. I think we can all agree that for the past few years, Bray Wyatt has been, and I really don't like using this word because it is so overused, has been buried. And I'm not just talking about his win-loss record. His character has just been diluted and diluted to the point where he means absolutely nothing. He comes out and he gives these garbled, nonsensical promos. Who cares? Who cares? This could have been the thing to turn that around. These two men sit on a roster which is deprived of real characters. That goes for both Raw and SmackDown, by the way. These two could have easily, clearly defined characters that people could really get behind, but it's just not happening. So please, especially in Matt Hardy's case, just give him some creative control, let him run with it, and he will make absolute magic. Anyway, in a match which was dominated by beach balls and Rusev Day chants, which I'm normally all for the Rusev Day chants, not the beach balls, it was disappointing because this could have been so much more. Matt Hardy wins with a twist of fate, and yeah. Next up, it's rowdy Ronda Rousey coming out to sign her Raw contract. First out is Kurt Angle, followed by Trips and Stephanie. Next comes Rousey to mostly booze, which was interesting. The promo gets started and it was clumsy and it was awkward and it was a bit cringy at first, but it turned into something good. Rousey at one point says that she wants to earn her respect and she doesn't want to be given any preferential treatment, which I think is really cool and a nice nod to some of the reception that the part-timers have gotten over the years. That is something that's going to get the hardcore fans on Rousey's side and is very clever. Anyway, Kurt Angle goes on to say that Triple H and Stephanie essentially want to own Ronda Rousey, especially after her behavior at WrestleMania 31. Interesting. He even said that Steph said that she could destroy Rousey if she wanted to. Anyway, Triple H ends up going through a table, Stephanie gets slapped, and it's as good as done that we're going to see Ronda Rousey, rowdy Ronda Rousey, and the Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle taking on the Cerebral Assassin. I don't know why I'm using all of these nicknames. Triple H and Stephanie at WrestleMania. A match which, before tonight, I wasn't that bothered about. But after that promo, which, you know, started off bad, it did. It was awkward. It was weird. She's not used to using a microphone. It turned from that to something that was really quite special. I think for me, it was the overwhelmed, happy to be here, happy to be in a wrestling ring, Ronda Rousey, that then in a second turned into this intense, ultra badass, and that's what I want to see. And finally, it is time for the men's Elimination Chamber match, or as it was touted, the biggest Elimination Chamber match in WWE history. They're obviously forgetting about 2015 with the 12-man tag team Elimination Chamber. Shh. Elias kicks things off and, as always, is fantastic, followed by Into the Pods, Roman, Cena, and Braun, which means starting off in the ring, Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, and The Miz. What a week some of those guys have had. The Miz Miz at one point goes round and impersonates the wrestlers in their individual pods, which was fantastic, before trying to start an alliance with Seth, and then Finn, he was doing the whole, come on, too sweet me, bro. It was really, really great. Miz, as always, on form. Some really good opening action, and then Cena comes out with some trademark big match John, a double 5-knuckle shuffle, it still means wanking, and then a double, or an attempted double AA, a quadruple AA, big match John. A huge double superplex, then out comes Roman Reigns, hooah, a cool spot a little bit later with The Miz, where he had all 4 of his opponents on their knees, and he was giving them the, I don't know why I'm doing that, you can't see my legs, he was giving them the yes kicks, which was really cool. Enter Braun, who absolutely trashes The Miz, he gets him up on top of one of the pods, throws him off to the men who were waiting in the ring. Power Slam eliminates The Miz. After this, Braun eats a 4-man assisted powerbomb, kicks out, an attitude adjustment, kicks out, a spear, kicks out, and then he takes the curb stomp and a coup de grace to the outside. It put him on the shelf for maybe 5 minutes. A great sequence with Elias where he tried to pick up the bones, goes and tries to pin everybody, but no, nobody takes the pinfall there. Power slam from Braun, and he is out. Braun has eliminated 2 men. Next, another power slam to Johnny Big Matches, the Big Match Boy. 1, 2, 3, which means that Cena has no clear path to WrestleMania, which we all know means that Cena gets the night off and he gets to spend it just having fun with Nikki, playing PlayStation, eating chicken, whatever he wants to do. It'll be great. Power slam, Finn's gone, and then a little mini Shield reunion with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, which didn't last for as long as it should have done, which is stupid, guys, because Braun's just eliminated everybody. What are you thinking? An amazing frog splash from the top of the pod from Seth. Doesn't matter. Power slam, you are gone. It is down to 2 men, the monster among men, and the big dog, Roman Reigns. We all know where this is going. Of course we do. We've just watched it. Superman punch after Superman punch after Superman punch. Spear, spear. And Roman Reigns is going to WrestleMania to face Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship, and we all knew it. And I just thought maybe they wouldn't. You know, I don't know why I give myself false hope every time. It's fine, we knew it was happening. And don't worry, if you're not excited about that, we've got Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles, so just concentrate on that. Overall, tonight was a fine show. Oh, I forgot to mention, just before I do the outro, after this, with Braun looking incredibly strong, eliminating every man except for the winner, Roman Reigns, he still got to beat up Roman afterwards. What a guy, and what improvement, right? We always talk about this, but Jesus Christ. Remember 2 years ago, Braun Strowman? Rubbish. Rubbish. Anyway, I've lost track. I'm still fairly drunk. Overall, a fine show. There were some highlights. I think the men's Elimination Chamber was the best. Pretty spot heavy, pretty fun. But yeah, it was alright. It was fine. A lot of people online saying they really, really hated it. I don't get that. I think it was alright. Gonna go to bed. Take this makeup off. See ya!